What's going on, FUD Nation? If you're not living under a rock somewhere, you probably have noticed that Bitcoin has once again taken the plunge. So much so that I couldn't even bring myself to leave the comfort of my robe. And I've had to make some cutbacks around here too. I'm affected by this Bitcoin drop. Don't you think I'm not? As you can tell, the pineapple is gone. Can't afford pineapples in this kind of a bear market. Those kinds of eccentric luxuries are just not going to be within the budget. Let's get into a couple exciting examples of Bitcoin motivation that hopefully will make you all feel just a little bit better. So let's start with this one right here. We can see here a comparison between the 2014 bear market and the 2018 bear market. Now, of course, when you're predicting something that's fairly negative, like a secondary bear market, as they've called it, or yet another plummet down to new lows within an already very demanding and very stressful bear market like we've experienced in 2018, it's never fun to be right. Obviously, if you follow this channel, you'll know throughout the middle months of the year, I was predicting that we'd have to go down and test these $5,000 lows. I was also saying that we'd probably go below 5,000. I stopped talking about it because we just held so strong at 6,500 or in that $6,000 range for such an extended time that I figured, you know what, maybe there's a chance we might just hang out here and this will be where our bear market kind of settles. Seems like I was wrong about that. Regardless, what we're seeing here is a plummet that very much so parodies what we saw back in 2014. At the end of 2013, 2014, we had a 69% drop on the first initial plummet from those highs created at the end of 2013. Obviously, in 2018, it was a 70% drop. Now we have a 53% drop in 2014 as the middle drop, a 51% drop in 2018, and then we've had almost the exact same 42% drop off once again so far, yet we haven't seen how low the Bitcoin limbo is going to go. Of course, we do have a Bloomberg analyst saying that we could go as low as 1.5K. Now, I've heard this explained. Obviously, there's been a hypothetical value of $1,800 or so set on Bitcoin by the Federal Reserve, but I still find all of this to just be too much supposition. Going all the way down to that $1,000 sort of range would put us back to where Bitcoin really peaked out in 2013, and it would sort of negate necessarily the forward progress, I feel, of the most recent bull run. At any rate, I think that that would be a bit extreme. However, there are support levels at about 4,800 and 3,600, and I would hope that those would hold. That's sort of as low as I personally expect to see this go, is the 3 to 5K range, and that's extremely bloody in my mind, and hopefully we don't go any lower than that or even to that. But here we are at 51, 5,200, sort of testing those ranges, so I think it would be utterly reasonable to expect that we could drop down, especially seeing how fast the market has really had the rug pulled out from under it. It could be reasonable to expect that we'll go down to that $4,800, $3,600 range. So now we're going to transition over to some other news. I know people really want me to talk about XRP on this channel, and I will do so now. So XRP obviously is the leader in the cross-border remittances sector of payment rails. They are the furthest ahead, the oldest coin in the game that's focusing on international payments. Of course, they were created by the same founder of XLM, Jed McCaleb, but let's not get our wires crossed here. XRP is very much so its own company. They have Ripple. They have an entire very powerful corporation behind them with a lot of dough to throw around. They're further along in their development in many senses, and they've got more traditional banking partners than Stellar Lumens. And it seems like Binance's CZ, I don't know if he's very serious about this, but has really opened himself up to the idea that Ripple, or XRP rather, could be the base pair for all crypto trades, or at least most crypto trades. I'm not sure what he means by this, but he essentially said the XRP base shill is strong. Let's get it out of your system and put all your shills under this one tweet, and let's see how much we get. He's essentially saying, if you want XRP to be the base currency for trading on Binance, give me your best shot. Let's see what we can get going here. I know that this shot up and gained a tremendous amount of popularity within the Ripple community with thousands of comments, thousands of retweets and likes. Anyway, if you guys want to comment on this, go over to CZ's Twitter and leave your best shill as to why XRP should be the base pair on Binance. Obviously, Bitcoin has been the most reliable pair for some time, but it seems like that volatility might be contributing to an overall, lack of stability in the crypto market. Or maybe having XRP as the base pair would actually lend more stability. XRP has been fairly stable over the 2018 cycle, even though it did have a tremendous plummet. I don't know. We'll see. Hard to predict the future, but it would be very interesting to see what the world would look like with an XRP base pair across Binance. Let me know in the comment section below, do you guys support an XRP base pair? If so, leave me a 1 or 2 sentence explanation as to why you think XRP would contribute to a healthier crypto ecosystem than having a BTC base pair. To that effect, we also know that the Bloomberg Galaxy Crypto Index is now favoring XRP much more heavily than Ethereum. Up till now, Ethereum was the second in line to Bitcoin within these sort of crypto index funds, and now you're seeing XRP start to take the cake. Obviously, it overtook Ethereum and is now significantly farther ahead as far as total market cap. XRP is sitting about $4 billion in total market cap ahead of Ethereum. And if you feel like your woes are woeful, just know that the billionaires in the tech world have certainly been hit hard in 2018. It's not just the crypto market that is suffering. We know that billionaires from Mark Zuckerberg to Carlos Slim Helou to Jack Ma are losing tens of billions of dollars throughout 2018 as stock prices in the tech world have been hit hard. We see here that Facebook is down to $139, which is a year-to-date low in 2018, and it's the lowest point it's been at since 2017 earlier on. At any rate, what we know is that the world markets, especially in the tech world, are having a slip and slide effect. There's definitely a loss of footing, or maybe this incredible bull run, especially in the stock valuations, has just been put a little bit on ice. Either way, it's not just the crypto world. There are larger ramifications to this financial fall off or the lack of bullishness in the market, and the crypto world is just a niched aspect of it that's being hit disproportionately hard. In somewhat encouraging news here, we have a Twitter poll by Ron Paul who proposed this question to his following. A wealthy person gifts you $10,000. You can choose in which form you'll accept the gift, but there's a catch. You must keep the gift in the form that you choose for 10 years without touching it. In which form would you accept that gift? 50% of respondents out of nearly, over 94,000, close to 95,000, call it 100,000 respondents had said Bitcoin. Now, when you get that many respondents, that's called statistical significance, and you can kind of take that home to the bank and be excited about what that means as far as what the larger population would value, or where the larger population sees as value. Obviously, today's hit to the Bitcoin price doesn't help this, but you can see gold, US Treasury bonds, and Federal Reserve notes are significantly further behind, obviously with gold being the closest. There's obviously reports of a new ETF being approved, or an ETF-like vehicle being approved in Switzerland, an ETP with the $ HODL as the ticker. This is definitely good news, and people are asking, will this affect positively the possibility that an American ETF will be approved? And the answer to that is unfortunately not really. There's sort of an ETP-like vehicle already available through Grayscale here in America, so it's not necessarily going to change the landscape in any perceivable way, but it's still a good thing and hopefully will attract more institutional investment to the space. But as far as whether people asking whether this ETP approval in Switzerland is going to necessarily have any impact at all at the on the ETF process, I'd have to say the answer is unfortunately no. What I'm planning on next is to do a very deep comparison video between XRP and Stellar Lumens. Obviously, it's been done before. I wouldn't be the only person to have done it, but I know that a lot of you guys are very interested in me doing that video. So comment below, let me know if you want me to do the XLM versus XRP video. I think it's becoming increasingly relevant, especially as XRP shores up some of the question marks around their ecosystem with things like multi-hop, driving more users into the XRP or XRapid service where they actually touch the XRP token. That's been one of my overriding qualms with Ripple, is that although they do have partnerships with a lot of banks, they're not necessarily touching that XRP token for all of those partnerships and transfers, even though increasingly it seems like they're trying to make that the default or most used option and service that they offer. Anyway, guys, with that kind of a drop in the market, I needed to be comfortable in my robe. I hope it was okay with you guys. Leave me a like if you enjoyed this video. Leave me a like if you didn't enjoy the video. I'm Elio Trades. You're watching FUD TV, and I'll see you very, very soon on the next episode.